Good morning. I'm stitching on my bookshelf again today. And I hope the puppies will sleep. Good morning, Peruska. I have a different set of dogs here than I normally do. Well, I have one that's the same and one that is visiting. And right now they are laying down. Hi, Sam. Good morning. There we go. Hi, Tracy. Man, you're up early for California. I feel like I'm still waking up. I'm not really. I'm just not sleeping well. Hi, Erla. You're gonna be stitching today, yay. If you're stitching, what are you working on? My hope is that my goal is 600 stitches, right? And this is the bottom of the shelf, so I'm hoping that I can reach the bottom, call this section finished, and get back up on this other section. Hi, Dawn. That's my plan today, and I'm hoping we aren't interrupted too much by dogs. Good morning, Artistic Needle 25. It's evening in the Philippines. One of these days, I'm going to get on early enough for it have to be pretty early, but Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, it's hard for those time zones to get one of these morning lives. So I need to get up earlier and be ready to go earlier. I can do that, but not when I've got extra puppies. Oh man, my brain's been super bad. It's been transposing numbers a lot lately. It only does that when it's stressed out. It's a good thing that usually the transpose numbers are very, very different. This is the color that I needed, but the first color I looked at was this blue. Hey, Catherine. Good morning. I hope that everyone's weekend is good. It's really kind of strange that I'm was super stressed, but coming here and just chatting with you guys is really calming to me, I guess. It really helps me get through things, so I'm here, and I will probably come back tomorrow morning. I'm gonna need it. You're needing all my stitching inspiration today. I'll see what I can do. Alright, so Erla's working on Riverwalk Charm. That's just fairly new. What are you working on, Catherine? One of these days, I am going to pull out Sabrina. It just isn't going to be until next year, probably. I'm feeling that need to, get certain things finished this year. And just survive. But I have been stitching more lately, which means I'm doing less of adulting. But that's it's what happens when my body decides it's going to shut down on me. And I'm trying to learn how to just be okay with that. It's really hard sometimes. It makes you feel really inadequate and not good enough, all those negative things. And my needle doesn't want to go down right there. Home is where the magic is a good one. We'll come back to Sabrina, she's there, she started. Try Max Color when you're still young. So any Max Color, the thing about Max Color is just your confetti is going to be higher. I find that on a super size it's okay, because you also have a lot more stitches. On a regular size chart or a mini, the confetti is rough, but it helps give you that detail without having all the stitches. So it's definitely kind of a trade-off. And I don't think that Max Color is always worth it. It just depends on the chart and how much of that detail you're going after. I love when the colors are really saturated and the color changes are really smooth and all the details can come out. And on this chart, there are a lot of details. Thank you, Catherine. it's really hard. Like I know that it is, like I can know the causes of things and only be able to affect it so much. It's the big picture is that it's gonna take me years. It's gonna take years and some certain events to happen. And sometimes in the meanwhile, it's just making it through. And doing little things here and there to try and do the best I can. When I don't know how much I've talked about this part. When I went to get tested by a neuropsychologist earlier this year, which is really kind of fascinating because it's all like, they feel like brain games or quizzes. It's those kind of tests, like you're not hooked up to anything. They're not measuring brain waves or anything like that. They're measuring like how your brain is responding to these different areas. And there's also a ginormous questionnaire. It was like 250 questions or something like that. Anyway, when I went through that, I was really hoping that some of my difficulties, like some of my cognitive struggles and things like that, I was really hoping that they were something that that I could do something more about, more than what I was just already doing. And he basically came back and was like, nope, you have extreme emotional stress that's affecting you physically and mentally, and like there's nothing more that I could add. And that was really hard for me to take. I really had wanted there to be something else for me to do. And I guess you could say that there is, like, I could actually work with a therapist. But I feel like I need therapy to go see a therapist. I can't. I've had a bad experience and have been unwilling to do that. But I've also done pretty well on my own. I've done better on my own than when I tried a therapist. It's all good. It is what it is, I think. So I'm just taking it as it comes. And it's okay. It's okay if it takes years. Because it's been years. It's, kind of like your house didn't get dirty overnight, so why expect to get it like cleaned and organized overnight? That's what this is. Let's see. Oh. Here's a very red color for me to put one single stitch in. Like that. Hi, Sophie. I am reading them. I always make sure that I've got the chat replies so I can see. I specifically film so that it's easy for me to read them. Hey, Sonia. This is 10th stitch. Most of my full coverages are 10th stitch. I think just 2 of them are full cross. Just 2 because I have like 8. I really like 10th stitch. Let's see, this is 28 count fabric. It's 2 strands over 1. Good morning, Angie. You know you need to come and go. It's all good. You know I'm fine. Hugs back. I really like the coverage of this, like the 2 strand 10 stitch on 28 count. I have some 10 stitch on 25 count, and I think whether I like it or not kind of depends on the pattern. I have three of them that are on 25 count. And one of them I'm not super fond of the coverage on it, but it's okay. And the other ones, I'm more okay with it. It just looks different, the way the colors are and stuff. Yes, Catherine, I have. My Frodo and Galadriel, I've done that. You know, I've got them right here. I can show you these things. Maybe. Where is it? Okay, found 2 of them. All right. So first, here is where I've switched. Let me move this so it doesn't get caught. Okay. So on this piece, let's move it this way. Up here, probably like this part right here was full cross. It's 2 strand full cross on 25 count. But it got really, really, really bulky and I didn't like it. So I switched, and all the rest of this is 10th stitch. You can tell a little bit when the light hits it right. You can't tell like this. It's got something behind it. But you can tell a little bit that this is denser and this is a little lighter. You can see that when there's light shining behind it. So ultimately, when it gets finished and framed, you're not going to see that part of it at all. And it's not even that noticeable. And it's the top little corner. So yeah, This is the project where I switch. This is full cross. This is tint. You can't tell. Like if you get up close and personal and you know that's what you're looking for, you're like, oh, yeah, I guess I can see how it's different, but at the same time, you really, really can't. Yeah. As long as you make sure that your tent stitch is going in the same direction as the top leg of your cross, you won't be able to tell. If your tent stitch is going the opposite direction, like your bottom leg, you'll be able to tell. Your eye will see that that's slanted differently. So I would just watch for that. Why is it? Okay. You watched The Lion King. Well, that's one way to wake up. And then for the 25 count, I'll show you. I think it works well for the 25 count, Sonia, but I will show you. So this piece, there's a lot of dark colors. And if you can see, it is a night sky. So there are like little, like this is intentional, it's stars. But if you look in through here, you can kind of see like this, you can see white through it. And that's actually the fabric, not the stitching. Because it's a night sky, it doesn't bother me. It works with the chart. But if it wasn't a night sky and I was seeing that, it would probably bother me that I was seeing that it was a little sparser. It's more sparse than the 28 count, but it works with this chart. A lot of people say if they use the bottom leg of their tent that it makes them feel like it's unfinished, and then they'll try to do a full cross. So that's another reason for using your top leg. I started using the top leg because it looks finished to me. Hold on just one moment. Okay. I mean, you can just open the door. I can't like yell at you. Go on. Go outside. They can come back in when you're like leaving. No, go on. Okay. Sorry. Managing puppies a little bit. Okay. I was saying that I started using the top leg just because it looked better to my eye because I was used to seeing that in the full cross. I'm going to try to show you this piece. This is also on 25 count. And for some reason, I don't see the fabric show through as much on this piece as I do on the other one. I don't know why. It's the same fabric. But for some reason, this pattern, maybe because there's a lot more lighter colors than there are darker colors, and there's a lot more movement in it with all of the wavy lines, you don't see it as much. You meant you'd be confused using the top leg. I mean, you do whatever you want to do if you try tent. That's the thing. It just takes some time, I think, to get used to tent in general, but so there's some 25 count examples. My personal favorite's 28, but sometimes like 28 might not be feasible for whatever reason. I don't know. Right here. And some people just find that tent stitch doesn't work for them. That's cool too. When I made my video about tent stitching, what I really wanted to do was be able to gather all the information that I had spent gathering and learning about tent stitch and putting it in a way that would help people decide if they wanted to try tent stitch or learn how to delve in. Because sometimes you might like the idea of it and then you learn a little bit more about it and realize, like, oh, with the way your brain works, it just might not. It just might not work that way. Don't know if you could see 28. See, I'm fine with 28. My vision's fine up close. I wear glasses to drive or like whenever I need to see distance, that's what I need glasses for. Watching a movie or something. I should wear them in dance class, but I don't like how they move around while I'm on dance class. So I go without, and it's okay. The Halo magnifier. I've heard good things about that one. I haven't needed a magnifier. Even when I've worked on 40 count over one, I do pretty well. My close vision is good. You use a magnifier for 18 count. Hey, it's fine. Everyone's vision is different. And we live at a time when there's a lot of tools to help us through like everything. Magnify everything. That's why I need to work hard on all of these full coverage while I still have this kind of vision, right? Lots of you magnifying. I know. Just hit like a one stitch, one stitch, one stitch. Home is where the wreath is. Is that their, I think I know which one that is. It's where the O is all the different kinds of wreath. Is that that one? The seasonal wreaths or monthly? Something like that. Oops, that's not the same symbol. Yes, okay. Yes, I have seen that one. Are you gonna magnetize it like they do, so it's easily switch-outable? Switchable, easily switchable, switch-outable. That's not even a phrase. 6 more? Do they? I guess I don't pay tons of attention. Does that like finish out the year, or is it just like more options? I've not stitched any stitching with the housewives patterns. I don't own any either, but I have seen them. If I can do a loop start, I will do a loop start. If I can't do a loop start, I just run it under the back. I've tried other methods, but they don't work for me. You finished the year with 13 of them. They're coming out with 6 more. Well, that's fun. You'll have lots of options for the wreaths. So this is the loop start I can do. I like it. There is a way that you can loop start if your thread has already been used. And I have tried it, but it pulls my stitching weird. But I did try it. I also have tried ending with kind of like a loop end, and I didn't like that either. But I tried. Typos happen, it's fine. You even get like those autocorrect weirdness. Like that's not even, I don't know what that is. I feel like I've tried everything that people suggest, like waist threads and waist knots or wastaways. And sometimes you just find they're not for you for whatever reason. I didn't like waist knots. They created color where they shouldn't be. Or like waist away threads, just, I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I personally did not like it. Hi, Kristen. The loop end came out like when you were trying, like when it's not getting anchored. When I tried the loop end, I had seen somewhere that they did like a little pin stitch somewhere. They were doing it on like a 25 count or something. For me, it just created this like horizontal line of color that then was messing up. I tried it on this project on the second shelf. It just was it just was not working for me. But that way because I was afraid of the loop end coming out. But with that additional pin stitch, it just, obviously for some people it works. Just for me, it was creating these additional colors on the front that also I don't think was hiding very well. It might work better if with one strand instead of two strands. I don't know, but at least for this project, it was not a good fit. I do the pin stitch on, I don't do it on this project a lot, or like ever, really, unless I'm trying something, but I use it when I'm doing over 2. Like on my Calendar Girl project. I'll use pin stitch on that one a lot. Pin stitch on a 28 count is more like just like a little anchoring. It's not really a pin stitch. Because you're, yeah, you're kind of piercing the threads, but not totally. I don't know. It's probably not something I should try to explain right now. And it's not easy to do on 28 count. This is nice to have like a full length of yarn that I can stitch out. And I'll say, marry me, Juliet. You'll never have to be alone. You're looking at 28 count right now. I think when I tried that kind of a loop start with a 2-strand, I think it was just too much. It was just too much, so it pulled it funny. But I've not ever tried it with a single strand, but I can see. I should try it. I have a project. I have 2 projects that is a full cross single strand. And I haven't tried that method on it yet. Next time I work on it, if I remember, I'll try it. See, a regular loop star, I never have any trouble with it. I think that this, like the single strand kind of loop star, is what is more likely to come undone. One of my favorite things about the creative world, like stitching, is that there are not a million, not really, but there are so many like different techniques and things that you can try. There's different approaches. There's all the different kinds of patterns and techniques and all of that, and we can find what works for us. And the tools, like we were talking about magnifiers earlier. We can find all the things that allow us to really be like creative. Oh, I see. The thread itself was coming unraveled. That's interesting. I don't notice that on my loop start. That's really interesting. Okay. Hello from snowy cold Prague. Margarita? Am I saying that right? Halfway right? I'll take halfway right. It's definitely not snowy here. And certainly not as cold as Prague would be. Yes, all the way right. I can take all the way right. Let's see. I can do a few more stitches before finishing that. Okay, let's see here. That was nice to get that dark color in. I think there's like a dark maroon-ish color that's going to join that brown. Not yet though. We're going to stitch a different brown. It looks like. I like this brown. It's a really nice, like, rich brown color. Ooh, it's warmed up this morning. It's above freezing now. It's pretty mild where I live, but cold makes me want to hibernate, so I would not do well anywhere that was cold like 6 months out of the year. You finished a diagonal on a Hade. Oh, I like Elizabeth Wilker's patterns or artwork. I like them. Thank you, Margarita. I hope you enjoyed that really long video. I didn't say cold was bad. I just said that I always want to hibernate, and that's not very conducive to like the way that society is run. Like I can't hibernate when I still need to like take my daughter to dance classes and I need to go to my own dance classes and then like there's other activities and things to do like I really just want to curl up under a blanket or 5 blankets all the time. Like I definitely slow down. If I was setting my own schedule and I didn't have those external things, winter definitely looks different than summer. You too. Where I live in Virginia, I really like We don't get a lot of snow, but we usually will get one really decent snowfall that sticks around for a couple weeks. And then we might get some like baby snowfalls. And I like that. I think snow is beautiful. Oh yeah, going from Portugal to Prague. That would be rough. You are in silent mode. That's okay. I don't mind. It was really interesting during 24 hours of cross stitch when I went live all the time that how many like messages I got from people who just wanted to tell me that they were there and listening, but either watching from their TV, you can't really comment easily, or it was while they were putting their baby to sleep or things like that. This is whatever you need it to be. If you want to talk, you can talk. If you don't want to talk, that's okay. I'll make up something. Something will come to mind and then it'll come out of my mouth. Like right now, okay, so last night when I got home, my driveway was full of vehicles, and so I couldn't park in my own driveway. And I had to park on the street. The problem is that there's a window right here, and I can see where my van should be parked, and it's not there, and it keeps catching my eye, and then I freak out because my van is gone, but it's still here. It's outside the other window. It's just not where it's supposed to be. Like, nobody could take my van. I mean, I guess it could be stolen. But I'm here, and I know it's here. But I keep seeing it weird because it's not where it's supposed to be. The worst is a lack of sunlight. Oh, yeah. That would be hard. That would be hard. I struggle even down here to have the lack of sunlight. I always am really happy once the winter solstice is, or equinox, no, solstice is done and daylight is lengthening again. Like, that's a celebration worth having. Ooh, that's nice to have a 3.5-year-old that still naps. My daughter stopped napping when she was 2. The sunlight, daylight, whatever they're called, lamp things. My mom has one of those, or did. I don't know if she still uses it. So, Erla, I'm not visiting you in Iceland in the winter. That would be awful. I would not do well. Ugh. That would be so rough. It's like I want to see the countries like at their best but I don't know if winter is the best for Iceland, but 3 to 4 hours is not my best. I guess I could do it for a couple days. It's not like I'm going to live there. And then you have 24 hours of daylight during summer. Yeah, that would be another struggle for me because I can't sleep once the sun is like shining. When it starts getting lighter, even though I have dark curtains, my body follows the sun. That would be super hard. I probably don't want to come to Canada in the winter. I feel like maybe spring into summer would be really good travel time. We already talked about how I want to hibernate in the winter. I don't want to go anywhere in the winter. Like, can I just move around from stitching spot to stitching spot? Set up my like empty garage room and with all the cozy things and people can come over and stitch with me all winter. That sounds like a good plan. Other people can do the travel to my house and I can just go out to the garage. There's a lot of pretty countries out there. I want to see them all. I'm not like a huge fan of desert country, but it does have its own kind of beauty that I can appreciate without ever wanting to live there. Tracy, what is it like to live there? Hmm. Oh, wait. I don't know what I'm stitching, but I don't think it's... Oh, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Good. I am in the right spot. Right there. Mark it off. I know a lot of people who live in Arizona. I'm not sure I could live among scorpions, but they like living there. Do the wild... Oh, hi puppies, you're back. Hello. Hi, Jack. No, don't. I don't want to be greeted with in my face. Hey, no, sir. Hey. Calm yourself. I'm okay. You're okay. The puppies came back in. Hopefully they ran around a lot so they can settle down for a little bit. I hear in the deserts, the wildlife is really like a nighttime event. Like it really wakes up at night. They're wrestling around on my bed. No snow and 3% rain a year. I would visit, but I don't think I would live there. I like green plants too much. Hey, calm down. Okay. Stop it. The visiting puppy is a boy and just wants to play. He's used to lots of other dogs. But there are sometimes some disagreements between my Pip and Jack. Jack is my mother's dog. He was staying with me for a couple days. You're snagging your bug. It's a bug in your bed at night. Not a desert bug, though. I really want to go to a place like, well, way far out. That's what I was just gonna say, Margarita. I want to go out where the night sky is incredible and the light pollution is super low. It's not bad where I live for being a neighborhood, because we don't have like street lamps here, which some people don't like about the area when they're driving at night, but I think it's nice. I really like it. It means that I can see some of like those. I get more of a night sky than you might think of in a neighborhood, but not as much as being out where there's no light pollution. I love the night sky. It would be a cool experience to see in a place like, well, you're at the Mojave Desert or like Joshua National Forest. I don't know what it's called. I listened to an audiobook about Einstein and his search for, I don't, light and relativity or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about Einstein. And at the end of this audiobook, they included like snippets of conversation between the author, who is an incredible modern day scientist guy, and um, and an actor who was voicing the Einsteins. And in this conversation, um, the author remarked on how, well, the actor was asking a question. His name's Paul Rudd. He asked the author, Brian Greene, a question about how Einstein would reference God, but that Einstein wasn't like a religious man. And Brian said, he didn't believe like in a religious God. It was like a God of nature. It was this reverence for nature and for the connection that you feel when you're out in nature, like this connection to something that's bigger than you. And so when Einstein references a God, like that's what he's talking about. And I loved it so much because that's how I feel a lot about nature and being out there, is that it's just it's something that's bigger than you. Far, far bigger than you, and it evokes this sense of awe and wonder that can feel like divine without being religious. And I liked kind of feeling that connection to like a brilliant mind like Einstein. You have to go to the mountains in Europe for the stargazing. Oh, well, that's kind of an interesting like mix with the Sierra Nevada mountains there. I've never lived around mountains, but I do know a lot of people who do, and and I kind of assume that it's like this in other places, but especially from people who live in Utah, like in the Salt Lake Valley area, they orient themselves according to the mountains. Like they know the difference between the two different mountain ranges and orient themselves, like east or west according to the mountains. Because they're visible everywhere. You're a physicist, so you know all the things. I don't know it. I think it's cool, but I can't. I could not even pretend like I know the things. I think science is very, very cool, but my brain doesn't retain that very well, and it never has. So I always feel like I'm learning about it over again, which I don't mind because I think it's cool every single time. Mountains run north and south. Yeah, so like because mountains are very, very visible, it would be a lot like pretty easy to. Jess, hi. Hello. Thanks for popping in. I still have things to send to you, Jess, and I promise I will. Your address is on a sticky note, and the stuff is like on my desk. I don't know why. I have no excuse for not sending it, except I just fail in sending physical items, I guess. But I still have it, and I see it, and I think of you and how I need to send it. I think that it's because I don't mail things a lot. I used to, and when I was doing that, I was easy. I was easy. It was easy to mail things, but I don't anymore. And so ask me to do something that's normal and I can do it. Mystical God, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah, it was just really fascinating to hear them talk about that like aspect of Einstein. It wasn't part of the book, just in this conversation, but I really, really like hearing that part. You dislike going to the post office. I mean, yeah, I don't either. I always feel like I don't know what I'm doing when I go to the post office. Like, let me go up to the front of the line and be like, please tell me what I'm doing here. Like, am I packaging this? What do I package this in? How do I label this? I feel so dumb. Well, I mean, it'll feel good getting something set up, even if it's a lot of work, right? I'm getting this stitching in now. Um, and then I guess I'm going somewhere and doing something. I know where I'm going. Actually, that's not true. I only know the town I'm going to. I should find out exactly where I'm going. There's two places. Um, but like what we're doing, I don't know. Probably going to the pool. Oh yeah. Yeah, you Tuesday is not that far from now. Now is later. Yeah, it's oh, carrying that mattress will be fun. It's funny, when I realize that I'm procrastinating on something, well, okay, obviously not in mailing things, but I'm learning. This is a pretty new skill for me. So it's not a very strong skill, but I'm learning to consider if future Suki is going to want to do this task any more than current Suki. Sometimes the answer actually is yes. Like future Suki would be in a much better place to take that on. And sometimes the answer is, well, I am past Suki's future Suki, if that makes any sense. And I don't want to do it any more than past Suki. So I guess I better do it. It is helpful sometimes to like beat the procrastination. I feel like I'm so close to the end of this section, but I also felt like that at the beginning of today. And now I'm like almost 300 stitches in and I'm still not finished it. Future Jessica is just as procrastinating as current and past Jessica. It's really good, I think, to know ourselves and to know sometimes a future version of ourselves will be more procrastinating or more capable than current. But sometimes people work better under the deadline pressure. Hi, Jerry. Welcome back. Well, ADHD and anxiety will both. I mean, ADHD can either drive you to do the thing or drive you to not do the thing. And anxiety is just a beast. So I can understand. All right. It's fine, everything's fine. Yeah, but like when people start saying that, it's fine, everything's fine, they're like, yeah, everything's not fine. We know what that phrase really means. Last night, there was a situation, and the person I was talking to was like, look, if this is like I don't want to add extra stress to you or whatever. Um and I was like, at this point you can't add stress. Like my stress level is too high. There's no adding. There's nothing above this. Like once you hit that overwhelmed stress stage, you're just there. And that's the point where I feel like I say it's fine. Everything's fine. We're going to be just fine. Because that's all you can say at that point. Do I ever park threads? Um, sometimes you do, and then it drives you crazy and stitch them all in. Okay, so on this chart, obviously Frodo and Galadriel that I showed you earlier, that had parked threads. Um, sometimes what I do depends on the chart and my mood at the time. This chart is really set in stone how I go about working in it. I like what I do, and since I do it every day, it's really nice to have no decisions about it. So what I do is I work in a section. So here's a section. That's there you go. There's a section. And within that section, I choose a color based on a diagonal. So I just pick the first color in that diagonal, and then I stitch it out. I mostly try to stitch down, but obviously you can see that I'll stitch into the other sections when I need to, or want to. I will park if on this piece, I don't do it very often, but I did a little bit on this first one. If I'm stitching a thread all the way out and it ends up there's a stitch out here, for example, it's too far for me to end it anywhere in here. And so I will just park it right there. And then I know that when I come back, I just need to finish that stitch and end it off when I have that area a little bit more filled in. So I have parked a little bit, but it doesn't happen very often. If that did not make sense, let me know, and I will do better. The sun has moved enough that it's starting to hit my laptop screen. Pretty much people will be like, not to make it worse. It's fine. We can't make it worse. Aw. Props to your husband. Good man. Well, it's so rude. I have come to the conclusion that it's a beautiful partnership when you realize that sometimes somebody else is the better solution. It doesn't mean that I'm not capable, but somebody else might just be the better solution for whatever reason in that moment. He's so chill about everything. You're zero chill. You have ADHD and anxiety. That's anti-chill. What do I plan to have in my Lord of the Rings wall besides Frodo and Galadriel and the map of Middle-earth? Well, I have a picture. That these are my full coverage plans. I do have some like smaller patterns that aren't accounted for in this. But what I was doing was putting them according to size. This is actually a larger stitch count than my supersized bookshelf. So, but I didn't want it to overwhelm all of the pieces as a whole. So I'm going to stitch this on 40 count. And that makes it a comparable size to the rest of the pieces. So Frodo and Galadriel, this is the Ranger. It's regular size. I have the non-max color version, but by the time I start it, I might change my mind and get the max color. This is a light in the dark. Those three are all by Matt Stewart. And then you can't get this one. This was Tilton Crafts. And you can't get that one anymore. And this is Home in the Mountain by Golden Kite. It is their like standard size with the blended threads because the mock-up looked the best. So this is Rivendell, and right here, it's like the Fellowship leaving. I love it so much. It's gorgeous. I anticipate that being the most complicated because of the blended threads. This chart comes and goes from the Golden Kite website too. So it's definitely the most expensive. I did get it a little cheaper. There's two ways that you can get it cheaper, but still it's a pretty expensive chart. But I think with the blended threads, the way that you have to chart those is more complicated than like any of the other ones. So the map, it's not supersized max color because it's not charted by Heaven and Earth Design. This one was charted by Tilton Craft, but it's what they, here, let me find, where is it? Here it is. It's Tilton Craft, and they call it extra large tapestry size. And it really is. It is this big, 975 by 810. This stitch count is like 50,000 stitches more than this one will be. So it's definitely the size of a supersize, but it's not max color. Its color palette is very, very minimal. Rivendell is big. I think I have that one printed out too. I mean, it kind of is big, but in the grand scheme of my big, it's not as, it's, here we go, 700 by 495, which is 346,500 stitches. Okay, so I did not pay 50. Though granted, I will say that, like I said, this comes and goes, and I'm not sure why it comes and goes. So what I did for Golden Kite is they have like a buy 3 patterns and you get the whole thing at a 30% off or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look at the site again. And so what I did was I got the Golden Kite, and then I got 2 like of the very, very cheapest patterns. You know, like the ones that are like $2 or $3. I could care less about the patterns. They are not ones I will ever stitch. I just needed them to get the 30% discount for the Golden Kite. And so that knocked it down to be like 30 something dollars. It was still a lot for a pattern. But it was cheaper. I know Golden Kite also has like their discount sale page, and I did see the Rivendell pattern on it like 2 weeks after I had bought mine, and it was even cheaper there. It was like 20 something dollars. Yeah, the Middle Earth map is I really like the colors better on the Heaven and Earth design chart, but that's not what I had available to me. It wasn't already retired. But I got the Tilton Craft one. And at this point, you cannot get a Middle Earth map that is a licensed chart. If you are, and any Middle Earth map that you see won't be charted. That's why it's retired from both Heaven and Earth Designs and Tilton Crafts. Hey, Alicia. Alicia, here's your heads up. I think I'm going to go live again tomorrow morning. Great strategy. Yeah, it's hard. The Golden Kites they're not cheap, but I think the way that they chart and because they do the blended threads and everything, it's just much more labor intensive. And I was willing to do that for a great chart. So right, you learned it after the fact. And and some people it's fine. I'm not judging one at all. I really am not. Sometimes you just don't know, and sometimes it's hard to tell. I didn't learn about the licensing part until after I already had the Tilton Craft one. So that I just happened to get that one. Yes, they do have no blends options. Even the Rivendell one has a no blend option. I just happen to like the mock-up the best. Obviously, I'm not scared of doing like supersize max color, and so doing blends was not like bring it on. I want the detail. I loved the artwork for the detail. Oh, that's true. You have to stitch with 2 threads if you're gonna blend. That's a good point. I think I have one chart that is not licensed. I did not yeah. I either did not think of it at the time or didn't know. Either way, you just do the best that you can, and that's good. That's good enough. I read an interesting article about licensing in the creative space, particularly in the cross stitch world, but like the struggle with it in the creative community as a whole. And they talked about like the licensing fee really isn't that much, but it's enough to where people who are doing unlicensed artwork are able to like undercut everybody else because it's 100% profit for them. It's not, they have zero fees to pay to anybody, and so now they're undercutting the licensed artwork. You're not always getting worse quality. Sometimes the quality is really nice. But it's hard to navigate as a stitcher. It can be hard to know if what you're looking at is like a stock photo that's public domain or if it's just a stolen artwork somewhere. I really like, so a lot of people have been opening or charting licensed art from their like artists that they know and have gotten permission from and are doing the things. And like I need people to stop doing that because I want to support everybody and like actually stitch charts from all of you, okay? Because it's amazing what is being done and the art that is now being offered through a lot of these like new small businesses. And I love it. I love it. And I think what makes it nice is that you could now, like I have several options that I could go. I could go to these people and like these new charters and say, like, would you be willing to reach out to this artist? Because I would love to stitch this artwork. Like, I've come across some art that I think I would do that for. Yeah, I love that we have all these options now. Stop all the creativity. I know, isn't it so rude? Like, y'all, I need you to stop. Just somebody yesterday, who was it? Blushing Pink Stitches, yesterday or the day before, was like, I'm charting artwork now. And I'm like, stop. Stop. I need all y'all to stop. But at the same time, don't stop. I love it. I love it so much. I know the Tolkien estate keeps it pretty tight, their copyright. Yes, either you approach the artist or ask the charters to approach them. Like, it would be there's people. There's a lot of people, and you don't even have to take one of the big like Heaven and Earth Designs cost like $100 for like a personal charting. And there's no guarantee that they would be willing, like you don't have to go with just one of the big ones like Heaven and Earth Designs or um I don't know, Charting Creations or anybody. Like there's small new businesses that would be eager to provide that service for you and do a good job. I love supporting small business friends. Like I just stitched this row of one color, so now you can see like how the shelf itself is kind of taking place. Like that line is helping to differentiate the shelf itself from whatever is happening above it. What I wonder is if the charter, the company person who's charting it, because they do regularly approach people, if they might have like a bigger sway, I guess. Um, sway is not the right word, but I think you know what I mean. They might know good words and they'd be able to show examples of their own way of charting um, to help, somebody say, an artist say yes, especially if they're willing to license that piece. Since I don't know too much about that side of it, so I guess I'm just musing out loud about that. I've not been paying attention to the time at all because I don't even care. The rest of the day will happen when I finish this and not sooner. Well, when I finish this and probably when I practice the piano, but not any time before then. But it's 10:30. Haha. Looks like there's a little leaf down here to stitch. Oops, that didn't work out. really want to get this corner filled in. I get to the bottom of these sections and I'm like, I just want to move on to the next one now. Get it done. It isn't the same. Can only go as fast as the confetti allows. I would say tent stitching is faster than full cross, but not double the speed when you're thinking of total stitch time, because you still have to start and end your threads in both methods, and you still have to pick your colors, like find your color, and you still have to thread your needle. So if you're talking about strictly like putting stitches in, yeah, it's going to be twice as fast. But total stitch time, it's not quite twice as fast. You see the struggling with, it's because I haven't done anything to help that. There you go. Now you can see it fully. Jerry, a lot of people have said that, like their counting is, their eye struggles with not seeing the full cross and all the holes filled, and so counting is difficult. I find maybe because I've gridded fact. I don't know. I never had a problem with that aspect of it, but I totally understand how it would be difficult. With the way I stitched this piece, it has not been a struggle for me. And now I'm so used to it that it is just what it is. A lot of challenge groups, like you have to double the amount of stitches if you're doing tent stitch. And like I get that. It's easy math to double it, but I think it would be a little more fair to say you need like 1.5 the amount of stitches or something like that. Otherwise, ultimately, you do get more stitches in by doing like 10,000 stitches instead of 5,000 stitches. But if you were to break that out like per minute or whatever, your stitch count per minute is more likely to be, I don't know what I'm saying here. I want to make sure I say that correctly. Because you still have to thread your needle and find find your color, it really isn't going to be double. The amount. My brain is feeling its own kind of confusion. Like the words coming out of my mouth are not the right ones. Man, there's still like 5 more colors to go before this section is finished. Like it looks like so little of a space. Alicia, that sounds like overkill. I don't know if anyone has tried to do it, but like reversible stitching is challenging from what I understand. And I do not know how it would work out with a full coverage. I think the time involved in doing that would be ridiculous. I think reversible stitching is like works best when you have very minimal colors. You never do, but you'd love to see somebody else do it. Well, I'm not going to be that person. I'll give you a tour shirt, but I'm not going to do that. Thanks for joining, Tracy. Have a good breakfast and day. I didn't have breakfast. Full confession. That sun is coming in. I need to adjust my curtain situation and see over. Can you go over without me standing up, please? There we go. That'll help for a little bit. Hi, Celia. I'm trying to finish this section up. I mean, I know I will because I won't hit my daily goal until after I finish this section. But my stitch count right now says 374. So I'm definitely in the second half. And it's been a pretty normal amount of confetti for this piece, which I'm glad for. Sometimes I hit the heavy confetti areas, and those are hard days. There, Liz, your fabric dealer. Well, that's a beautiful friendship. Air that travels a whole lot. I feel like she's always posting somewhere she's going, and I love it. Happy to be your dealer. See, you're going all over. You go everywhere. These little corner stitches extend down, so I'm not going to do them. I will get them when I do the fourth shelf. You can't help it. I love it. Yesterday, on yesterday's live, we talked about traveling a lot. I think it's fantastic that you are doing that. Maybe when I finish my bookshelf, in 2 years from now, but before I frame it, it can go on tour. My bookshelf can go on tour. Ooh, Morocco. That's fun. You're doing all the travel things. I'm like, I'm going to New Mexico in January. I'm going to Ohio in March. It's not really traveling, and it's you want to go to all the places. I know, and she posts about it in her Instagram stories. Claire, hi. It's been forever. Instead of a book sign. Yeah, there's no books for me to sign. Bookshelf world tour. I mean, it would be like folded up in my purse at all times. Like, I would not allow it to leave my person. Like, it would be a carry on. It would not ever be separated from me. You like the idea of a bookshelf tour? Well, in 2025, I guess, is when that would happen. No stitching bug for a long time. Yay. A video soon, and that promises to be like 2 hours, right? I can sign your shirts, which will have a picture of me holding up the finished bookshelf. Is that what the tour t-shirts are gonna be? Oh man. I don't I'm not sure that I don't know about that. You've done one thing. Yeah, but you can show like it's okay. I'll look forward to your video, Claire. Absolutely. We don't need me on a t-shirt. I don't need to be on your t-shirt. I'm sure we can have a happy medium where you can have a Suki t-shirt that doesn't have me on it. Well, I'm not going to lie, this project is incredible. There's no way around that. And I'm really happy to like have the memories of live streaming being stitched into this project. I love that that's going to be a thing. You want a Suki shirt, but it has to have me on it. Oh. You guys, You know I give you what you want, right? So don't convince me of this. I don't want my face on a shirt. I'd have to wear one too. Yeah, see, now this is no. Guys. No. We're gonna have to come to some point where like we can come to a compromise here. At least we have 2 years to like figure this out. I'm not going. That's what Ziggy says. I'm not going. No, I have to go. I want to meet everybody. I can find some other way to have a boundary, but still allow meeting everybody, right? Fair enough. We can find a happy medium ground where I'm just a normal person, just like you. Oh. 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Cartoon version of me? Well, that brings up an interesting. Let me see if I can find this picture. Somebody I know made an AI image of me. Oh. I'm gonna try to find it. Okay, here. Okay, so my avatar. Okay, so that's kind of what this picture could be. So my friend made an AI um like a woman with purple hair riding a moose. I do still have purple. um a woman with purple hair riding a moose in a forest, like I don't know, impressionist style or Tolkien style or something like that. So this ties in with the Lord of the Rings thing. And it came up with like 5 different pictures, and this one was my favorite. Like, that's me. Like a dress on a moose, purple hair, foresty. That's kind of me. I loved it so much. I've not used it anywhere, but I could. My friend sent me like 5 of them, and that one was my, like, it was definitely my favorite. I loved it. Like, it's so well done. It's crazy what AI can do nowadays. I should stitch that. I have too many things to stitch. And more keep coming my way. But I do like it a lot. And I have plenty of people who could chart it for me. The question is, who do I go with? We could do a picture like that on a shirt. Could be like the logo. One, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. You you want to chart it? I now have so many people who are like small business charters, and like, it's awesome. But it makes hard choices. Like, I can't easily just be like, you, because you're like my one person. Like, there's too many choices. But right now, I'm trying to decrease my amount of projects overall. Oh, I just had a finish last night. That was cool. I'm now at 26 projects, I think. Use a wheel to decide. Ooh, that's a good use of a wheel. Look, it was randomly chosen. I know you can chart. No, a lot of people have started. We were talking about this earlier, how a lot of people have started like working with artists to license artwork. And so you have a lot of variety in artists now. Oh man, I'm gonna have to stand up to fix this curtain and the sunlight coming in it. There we go. We did it.